Fact. With HDR, TVs are getting brighter all the time. Now, this is awesome, but it does make it hard to see anything else, especially if you're watching TV in a dark room. This is where TV backlights like the Govee Immersion light strip come in handy. Now, Govee has been at this for a while, but how good is their latest light strip? Let me answer that question with another question. How cool do you want your lighting to be? The Govee Immersion TV backlight has a few tricks up its sleeve, and for this it requires extra hardware. Specifically, it uses a camera to match the colors on your TV screen. It also has a controller box that you plug the light strip, power supply, and camera into. Now, whether or not you'll see any real benefit from a TV backlight depends on a few things, like what your lighting situation is, and whether or not you have a dedicated spot for watching TV. It doesn't matter whether that's a separate room or just a separate area of any given room. If you have either of these, you'll probably see a benefit. Basically, putting a light behind your TV raises the overall level of the lighting in the room you're in. This should reduce eye strain, so if you find yourself getting headaches after watching movies in a dark room, a backlight should help. At the same time, you may not want to put this TV in your bedroom. Even if you have a TV large enough to fit 55 inches and up, it may just make it too bright to be able to sleep, unless you don't want to. Reducing eye strain isn't the only reason to use a backlight. By slightly lighting the area behind the TV, your TV will appear to have better contrast. This is because the blacks on screen are appearing against a dim light instead of just a shadow. Now, I've used a backlight behind my TV for around 10 years or so, but it was never one meant to be used that way. For years, it's just been a simple LED strip. I was curious to see how the Govee would stand up to that, and it did very well. The Govee Immersion Backlight isn't all that expensive, but if you only watch a few hours of TV a week, you may not see it as something worth paying for. The good news is you can use it for much more than just TV. Actually, this backlight packs in all the features you'd normally see in a standard LED strip and more. One of the coolest features is the Lighting Effects Center, where other users can share their own creations. Using the DIY mode, you can create and share yours as well. You can preview these creations via video, then apply them to your own light strip if you like the look. And if you don't, there are plenty more where that came from. For my testing, I attached this light strip to a 55-inch TV, and it only barely fit. If you're thinking you might be able to scale this down to a 49-inch screen, it's not going to happen. Other than that, setup is simple. Just attach the light strip and camera, plug them into the controller box on the back of the TV, then plug the power supply into that. You may have to neaten up some cables, but that's it. While there is a box that attaches to the back of your TV, like we just mentioned, any real control over the lighting is going to require the Govee Home app. Fortunately, this uses Bluetooth, so it's really easy to get up and running. Just run the app, attach the foam squares to your screen to calibrate it, and you're good to go. If all you want to do is have a bias light behind your TV, you can basically set it and forget it at this point. That said, the Govee Home app can do a lot more. In addition to TV backlighting, it can also provide backlighting for games, which is similar but brighter and more colorful. You have full control over just how bright that light gets, as well as how colorful it is, but the presets make it easy to choose one and roll with it. The app also has a music setting to match up with whatever you're listening to. If you want to have some real fun, turn on one of the music modes and turn the sensitivity all the way up. Then sing or beatbox or make whatever sounds you want and watch how it reacts. Even if you're a terrible singer, it's not like it's going to boo you. I hope. If you prefer static lighting, you can set the backlight to a simple solid color or even a gradient, which works especially nicely with neutral wall colors, which, as you can see in this video, I don't have. Finally, there are several built-in scenes that can be fun. The rainbow setting provides a moving rainbow effect, while crossing makes for a slightly dizzying swirling effect. There are several other moving and color changing effects that are nice to have on while your TV is turned off. In addition to changing brightness and color saturation, there's also a built-in timer to turn the light off, which is handy as by default the light will just stay on all the time, though of course you can always turn it off manually using the app. I wanted to see how Govee thinks we should be watching TV, so for the first night I used it, I left everything at the default. And not surprisingly, this is kind of how you see a TV in a store display. Bright, flashy, and completely impractical. The backlight was too effective at default settings, meaning it often drew my attention away from the screen. It was interesting to watch the backlight do its thing, but after a night plus testing it with a few games, I found it completely overbearing. After lowering the brightness to around 25% and lowering the saturation somewhat, it became much more practical. I also changed the effect so it would affect the whole back of the screen instead of just parts of it. At the defaults, I'd find an average scene making one half of the screen red and the other half blue, which wouldn't make any sense based on what was on screen. By turning everything down, the effect became much more subtle, but also far more usable. The great part here is the app lets you customize the settings for everything. This means you can have it subdued for movies and TV, slightly more vivid for gaming, and then completely over the top for light shows while your TV is turned off. Compared to my DIY setup, I vastly preferred the Govee. That said, I'm not sure how much I like the privacy implications of an always-on camera that's connected to my network, but at least it's only pointed at the TV screen. Hey, do you like cool lights? If the answer's even anywhere remotely near yes, then buy one of these. If you've got two TVs with screens at least 55 inches, buy two. Keep in mind, this isn't just a rough guideline when it comes to screen size. With my 55-inch TV, I had to get creative with the cabling to get everything to fit properly. Even if you don't find the TV backlight features especially interesting, this is still worth looking into as a do-it-all LED light strip. It can do a lot more, but even if that's all you use it for, Govee's Immersion Backlight is worth the asking price. Now, if you want to know more about installing and setting up the backlight, check out the written version of this review over at makeuseof.com. You'll find a link down in the description. Plus, while you're there, you can enter a giveaway to win one of these. But wait, there's more. We're giving away a ton of stuff, so go to makeuseof.com/giveaways to see a list of everything we're giving away. Now, if you're here for the video bonus code, it's cool light, all one word. Thank you to Govee for the review unit, and as always, thank you for watching.